Hey y'all, it's Diane with Y'all Craft One and my old barn door, and I just wanted to do a quick little video to show you guys how I do a napkin transfer without an iron. So I'm making tags for this journal that I'm working on, and so I've picked this napkin because it's just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful napkin. So I have a file folder, and this is what I'm going to make my tag out of. This will be the base. And then I'm going to pick which part of this napkin that I like. And I really like this part. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this out. Now I've seen videos where people do this. Let me move some of this stuff because y'all know I always have entirely too much stuff on my desk. But I've seen videos where people do these with saran wrap and an iron. And you know, I just absolutely hate an iron. I have always had an aversion to irons, probably because every time I touch one, I get burnt on it. That would have something to do with it. So I thought there's got to be a different way. And so I had heard that you could just use a glue stick. And so we're going to try this and see how it works. And that way you can do your napkin transfers without an iron. And it's a little bit different than Mod Podging your napkin on. Because when you Mod Podge your napkin on, it kind of makes it a little stiff. And it has a different feel to it. But doing this method, it gives you a really, really soft texture. And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Now this one's still drying. But I don't know if you can tell, but it doesn't have that crinkly, rough texture. It's really, really soft. So it gives you a really cool, different texture to the tag when you do the napkin transfer. So we're going to attempt to do this with this napkin and see how we do. So you definitely want to take all of your layers off because you just want the top layer. And I'm trying to cheat and do this without tape, but I might have to get tape. Alright, there's one layer. And I may show y'all some things you can do with this. It's according to how much time we have on the video. Okay. Let me see. Okay. He doesn't want to come on. Oh, wait. Okay. So now we have the second layer. And then I'm just going to kind of lay this on my tag and kind of get a gauge of where I want to cut the tag. Okay. And so I think I'm going to cut the tag probably right at, not the tag, the file folder, right at the tab. So I'm just going to, I need a bigger desk, guys. I'm going to bring my little trimmer over here. And we're just going to line them up about right there. And then we'll trim this top part just to make it even. Okay, so now we have a tag to put it on. And you can see our napkin's going to fit over it nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the napkin face down on my mat. And then I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to cover this whole tag really good. You want to make sure you get all the way to the edge, and you want to make sure that every part of the surface is covered. And I'm just using a cheap little Elmer's glue stick that I got at the dollar store. And I love the purple because you can actually see where your glue is. Only for a short period of time because it starts disappearing. But you can kind of get a gauge. Alright, so I've got every part of that surface covered. And I'm going to pick this up. And I'm going to turn it over and place it face down onto my napkin. Just like that. And then I just use like an old gift card or any kind of different little card that you have, and I'm going to rub it over the surface, putting quite a bit of pressure on there. And that way you can get rid of all the bubbles and you have a good smooth surface on your napkin. And I always try to go over the edges really well so that I can make sure that they're going to stick really good. And you can sew the edges if you want to, but I don't always want to, so I just try to make sure that I have a good hold all the way around. Okay, so let's put the lid back on our glue stick. Okay, so then we're going to pull this up, and you have this. It's really smooth on there. There's no rips or tearing or anything like that. And it just has a really, really cool texture to it. Okay, then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim away the excess. Now again, if you want to sew, you can sew it around the edges just to give it a little extra something. Y'all know me and my straight cutting or lack thereof. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's still going to look good. Okay, so anyway, you're just going to trim around the very edges. Now, I'm trimming file folder too, but that's okay. This is why I use a trimmer. However, I have found with this, if you use the trimmer, it will rip your napkin. So you kind of have to freehand it with the scissors. Unless you want your napkin to look, you know, have that ripped look, and then, you know, that's fine too, because I have some that I did that do have the rip look, and as soon as I finish cutting this, I'll show you. Okay, let's get rid of this as it's sticking to me. I did do a couple. So I did this one, and you can see I inked around the edges and I sewed around the edges, but that transferred really nicely onto there. And then I was trying to find one that ripped. Okay, on this one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see right here on the edges where it kind of ripped. And so I just took ink and went around the edge, and I like the look of it. So, you know, in the junk journaling world, there are no mistakes and nothing goes to waste. So I really like that concept. All right, so now that we have our napkin on, I want to cut the tag shape. So, and I don't want it to be huge, so I'm just going to cut a little triangle off the corner here, and I'm going to turn it around over here, and that way I get the same angle and the same cut on both sides. Okay, so then we're left with this. And then I want to go around and ink the edges. I just like the look of the inked edges because to me it just gives it a little more of a finished look. So we're just going to ink around. I really like this ink pad. I got it at Hobby Lobby for like, I don't know, $2.99, so it was fairly inexpensive. It's the color box. And this color is Romantic. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. I have ink on the lid because I always sit my dauber on top of the lid so that I know which dauber goes with which color. Okay, so I'm just inking around the front and the back. And I do think I want to sew around this one. So I'm going to run it over to my sewing machine and sew around it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have it sewn around the edges, and you can't see it really prominently, but I like it because it just adds a little extra something to it. And then you have this on the back of the tag. So now I think what I want to do, I think I want some lace up here, and I think I want to do a hole punch. So I think that's what we'll do, and I'm just going to eyeball it and find the center and just punch right through. And then I have some of these hole reinforcers, and I like to buy the white ones because I can take the same ink that I have on my project and use it on my hole reinforcers and just color those babies right up. And then I'm going to put him right here. I didn't get that real straight, but it's okay. And then we'll put one on the back. And of course you get ink on your fingers, but that's okay too. I'm going to wipe that off a little bit though, so I don't get it on the back of my card. Okay, or tag. Now I want some ribbon to go through there, and I have some really pretty purple ribbon. Let me see if I can find any that's open. Of course not, because I'm on oh wait, here's one. Okay, so I have this just, you know, simple organza ribbon. So I'm just gonna get a little, oh well, that works perfectly. So I'm just gonna trim that off. Actually, that's a whole lot of purple organza. I don't know. I'm going to run it through and we'll work with it. Probably trim it down, but that's okay. I can use the snippets for clusters. Okay, so we're just going to tie that up there. And actually, I kind of like how long it is, because it kind of gives you the option of whether you want to tighten a bow or whatever. Okay, so now we have that at the top of our tag, and then the last little thing I want to do is I want to take some stickles and just add a little bit of sparkle here and there to my tag. So I have this I have silver, but I don't really think I want silver. I think I want this one. It's called Diamond. And I tend to forget to use my stickles. They are sitting in a place in my craft room where I don't look very often, and so I always forget to use them. But we're going to try and use them today. So I'm just going to put a little bit of sparkle on the butterfly's body. And I don't want a whole lot of glitter because I'm really not very big on glitter. I guess maybe I'm not sparkly. I'm not a sparkly person. But I just kind of want something to add a little special touch to the tag. And then we have a little butterfly here, so we'll put a little bit there. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I'm sorry, I'm not very close, am I? Let's go in a little closer. Okay, and then we're going to put a little sparkle here on him. And then I'm almost thinking that I might want some on this flower right here. And I don't want it on every little piece, but just kind of here and there. So we'll just do that, just to give it a little bit of something. And again, I'm not going to add it to every one of these little buds, but okay, I think I like that. So there we have a tag from File Folder and a napkin. transfer. So I'll go ahead and hold it up where you can see it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can try and fit it. Oops, wrong way. Sorry. There we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. So there's the top of our tag with the little organza ribbon. And then you can see the sparklies in there. See the sparklies in, oh, stop shaking, camera. Sorry, guys. And then just a little touch of sparkly in the butterfly's body. And that's pretty much it. Now this can be a journaling card, because once this glitter dries, you know, whoever gets this, they can journal on the back or put a picture on the back or however they want to use it. But just kind of wanted to give you an idea of how you can do the napkin transfer without having to use an iron. So there you go. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you hit like if you like this video. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. And thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Big hugs.